So the producer is the financial head of the production. Um, at Sumter Little Theater, we usually share this responsibility. However, of late, we have an outstanding person who handles our box office, our producing, our financial arrangements, all of that, and it makes the process much easier when when the production team and a theater is just that. It's a team, and we have to work together. Ideally, you're working under the guidance and the direction and the support of a director, who I said is the artistic leader of the production. One of the responsibilities of the director, of course, is to cast the play. To do that, the director is going to have auditions. He is going to announce them. At Sumter Little Theater, we announce them through social media. Back in the day, we had to put it in the newspaper or put it on the radio, or if we were lucky, we could get an announcement on TV. And, we it was like throwing in the dark. You had no idea who was going to see it. However, we got some very exciting, talented people to come to auditions. Nowadays, with social media, you're able to announce your auditions to everyone in a very broad, effective way. Um, we set the auditions typically on a weeknight, in the evening, to give adults who have jobs the opportunity to get home, have dinner, and then come and audition. Um, and The director is there to look at the actors and to decide who will best fill the roles, and other things that have to be considered. Because we are volunteers, we have to consider people's schedules and uh, the amount of time that they actually have to spend working on the play. In the professional world, like I said, you are working with people who are members of unions. Actors have a union called Actors Equity. And Actors Equity has requirements that any producer, any theater company that wants to hire a union actor has to abide by these rules. When you're working with non professionals, it's easier. However, you want to be respectful. You want to consider the amount of time that they have to spend with you, and you want to find people who are willing to devote their time and energy to a production that is not going to pay them any more than just the satisfaction of knowing that you were a part of a great show. So he casts his play. Once he casts his play, he will start rehearsing. Typically, what happens is when the play gets cast, we have what is called a read through, where the actors come and they sit around the table and they read the play for themselves, for the director. We might do this 2, 3 times. This is called table work. We'll read it once, we'll talk about it, we'll read it again, and then the director is going to talk about what he wants to do with it, how he wants to tell the story. We might read it again. Finally, or eventually, we are going to put it up on its feet. We are going to start moving actors around. This is called blocking. At this time during the process, the actor is walking around with the script. The director is giving him direction. Where do you move on the stage when you say this line? At what point do you pull that chair out and sit down? When do you walk out the door? That type of thing. He writes it in his script. The actor does. One very important person in the production process is the stage manager. The stage manager is the director's right arm, basically. The stage manager will attend every rehearsal. Their job is to take notes, copious notes about staging, technical notes, when the lights need to come up and go down. Ultimately, he or she will have what is known as a prompt book. That's their book. That's the stage manager's book, where all of the notes are written, where all of the blocking is written, all of it. If ever there is a question, ideally, the stage manager will have the answer. Be nice to your stage managers, always. They will take care of you. But the responsibility of the actor is to keep up with the direction. No question. You have to be able to do this. You have to be able to remember what you're being told. You're going to block the play for about a week. Once you block the play, you're going to want to start familiarizing yourself with the lines earlier if possible, so that you are not bound to that script as you're on stage rehearsing. The sooner you are able to memorize your lines and get that script out of your hand, the better. You're freer to move around the stage. Ideally, that's what a director wants to see, because that's when he can start giving you notes about character, notes about timing and pacing and volume and movement, all of those things that go into making a great production. Now, in addition to talking to the actors, the director has to communicate very clearly with his production team, his designer, his scenic designer especially. I can come to my scenic designer with a vision. I trust him to say, I like your vision, Eric. This is what you're going to get. And I say, thank you. I respect designers very much because I can't do what they do. And they ultimately are going to make our work look good. We are fortunate to have some incredibly talented people in Sumter who are willing to volunteer their time to the theater to create these wonderful sets. So for that reason, we are very fortunate. We are very fortunate here, and the work we do is pretty darn good. And I know I'm biased, but I've been around the block a few times, and I've seen enough to know that we're pretty good. So, for the director, communication is key. Respect is important. By the time we've rehearsed for a while, we've gotten the scripts out of our hands, the costumer has come in and worked her magic and transformed these regular people into characters by putting them in costumes. We are at the point where we are ready to open the show. Once we get to that point, my job is over as director. I've done everything I can with the show. At this point, I turn the production over to the stage manager. After being with me for the entire rehearsal process, the stage manager knows how the show is supposed to run. And it's a great feeling for a director to be able to say, okay, thank you very much for your work. This show now belongs to the cast, and the show is going to be headed up by the stage manager. Enjoy it. And the production takes flight, basically. All right, I'm ending here for today. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about acting. I will also post the test tomorrow. Now, with this test, I'm going to post it. I'll go over what will be on it. You will have until Friday afternoon to finish it and submit it. Okay? Thanks. I'll talk to you.